Well, gang, here we are, just saying hello from the Retro Arcade and Fascination. It is the second week of December, and I'm over here. That's not too bad temperature-wise today, and I'm over here between omnibus escapades with the parades and all that stuff, trying to get a little bit of work done. I was working on some bill acceptors. These are Mars bill acceptors from the different machines, and sometimes they need a little bit of service and cleaning and keep them running so I don't have problems during the season. So this is the stuff I do off season. I make a mess. I make a really big mess over here at the Retro Arcade Fascination. I mean, look, look, I got my emergency pizza right over here from Domino's. Of course, there's nothing left to it because I ate it all. That was there several weeks ago. But I mean, there's stuff all over the tables here. You can't even do anything. It's like my workshop now. This is the off-season workshop at Fascination. You know, all the way up top, there's boxes and boxes of stuff and stock and merchandise and all this stuff. And then in the middle of the floor, of course, you have to have your proverbial piece of plywood that's here so you can do some painting. And the other day I did some painting and left it overnight. And an hour later, the smoke alarms were going off because the atmosphere was filled with the paint smell, and it triggered the smoke alarms, and they had the fire department here and all the other stuff just because I was doing painting. I mean, you can't live. So, I mean, the garbage cans get pushed around, so I just have my candy wrappers and stuff like that on top of the machines, and boxes everywhere, and compressor out, and mechanisms, and tissues thrown on the floor. There's more stuff thrown on top over here. I mean, this is the way it is off season because everything is a giant mess, right, Sam? Absolutely. So, I don't know. Look, more boxes came in. I just came from the post office picking that up. Have to go through this stuff. More parts and bells and all kinds of goodies. What do we got over here? We got all kinds of hopper parts still sitting here. I got this from my friend down the street, and some motors and all kinds of whatnots and doohickeys. And so this is what you have. This is my fun with the off-season, shall we say, between the omnibus fun. Oh my gosh. Got some boxes here today, and I'm pretty sure I know what this is. You know, it's funny how things go. As I was getting ready for the parade, I had some trouble, and I was having trouble with the audio amplifier that I was using for the omnibus. So rather than have any kind of problem during the parade, I figured it's better safe than sorry. So I had to go over and steal the amplifier from Fascination. So, of course, because I stole the amplifier from Fascination, immediately what I have to do is replace it. So, here we have, of course, a new amplifier, which I can use for Fascination. And yes, it's a Radio Shack Realistic, and it is what they call new old stock, and it's beautiful, and I love it, and I like to stick with stuff that I've been using before, so I know that the sound quality will be the same. And this is what you have. You know, you talk about sound quality. This is how I get involved with stuff. You know, sounds are really important. I think they are. I love the sounds, for example, like on the omnibus. You're driving along, the sound of the motor on the omnibus hits two memory signals for me. Memory signal number one, of course, is driving the omnibus down Main Street because it's the same omnibus, so it's the same sound with the same motor. But another sound is the Jungle Cruise boats, particularly the original Jungle Cruise boats at Disney World, because they did change them into larger boats. But the original boats must have used the same motor. I know they ran on propane just like the omnibus does, and it was built around the same time, so they must have used the same motor. It was covered with that black, covering to make it look like it was a jungle boat. But when they would use that motor and they would race that motor, it was the same sound that I would hear when I would race the motor on the omnibus. So that's kind of a memory trigger for me. It makes me happy when I hear that. And, the sounds of Main Street, Having spent so much time on Main Street at Walt Disney World were very special to me. So the sound of the motor going up and down, the sound of the area background music and the bell, with the vehicles or the honk honk horn. Even the steam train, when it would pull in, I would hear this high frequency squeal from the pressure of the steam, even at a distance, because I would hear that almost like a dog whistle. A lot of people don't hear it. I would hear it. And then you would hear the steam train coming in and the whistle. But another thing you would hear was the bell. Clang, 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 clang. The bell of an old steam train that would echo through town square. I mean, these are amazing things. So, of course, when I get nostalgic and I think of these things, I have to pull out different things that created those sounds for me, for my memories, that make me happy. So I dragged over. And trust me when I tell you, with my back being sore, I hurt my back about 2 weeks ago, and I've been in pain. I couldn't even get out of bed or walk very well for several days. I'm a little bit better today, but during the periods that I move stuff, you wonder why I have backache. I mean, I dragged over my bell. So, this is my steam train's bell. Now, this thing, to give you a idea of size, here's my foot, okay? You see my foot? Yes, Mary, there's my foot. All right, you see my foot? There's the bell, okay? And this bell weighs several hundred pounds. And it's not mounted. I don't want to knock it over because it's very hard even with my back. So trust me when I tell you, I love the sound of that bell because to me, that bell says the steam train is pulling into Main Street Station. And you would hear that bell going clang, clang, clang. And this authentic arm would be connected to a cord that would go to the cab. And you pull the string and get the bell rocking. Now, I can't pull it too hard so it would swing by itself back because it's not mounted to anything, but it's got a big mounting block on the bottom and it has to get screwed down and bolted down or something. So I dragged it over here on a whim, and I have to put it up someplace so I can ring my bell. What else do you do? This is the kind of fun you have. See, you can still have fun while you're doing stuff. So I just wanted to stop and give you a hello from the Retro Arcade and Fascination and ring my bell because we're getting ready for a new season, which will be coming up before you know it pretty soon. So with that happy note, we'll say bye-bye, and we'll say goodbye from everybody here at the Retro Arcade and Fascination, and we shall see you soon. Bye, kids.